Right, I think this is finished doing its thing. So this lot's been through twice now. Yeah, it's getting dirtier, isn't it? Let's take a look at this. Yeah, it's gradually picking up. It's gradually getting there, a little bit cleaner. So as I say, I'll leave it off for. That's warm now. I'll leave it off for a few minutes. We'll just see what a few more cleans can do. And you can see this is just water with this detergent. It is now getting dirtier. I did put that in. It was looking a bit of a mess. I wasn't sure if I should or not, but I'll put it in anyway. But that's cleaning up. I don't want to burn my hand, it's quite warm. Yeah, and these parts are coming up a little bit better as well. See what else I can get out. Yeah, it's just the tiny little holes. You can blow these out. Yeah, so we'll give it another go. So I'm just about to refit this petrol tank now, and what I can see here is I've got everything cleaned out as best as I can. It's been out in the garden for a few days and it's not rained, it's dried out really nicely. But these this rubber hose here, it's really hard and it pulls off here. You can see it turning and twisting around. So what I want to do is, I'm going to leave this as it is, but I'm actually going to use these pipes that are off my original one. This one that goes from this fuel cock into the carb. This is what sucks the air down. This is the part that actually does the suction part into the carburetor, and this is the fuel line. But what I did with these when I rebuilt this bike up is actually put these on and tighten them on with these Jubilee clips here. So I'm going to replace this old pipe, which is really rock hard. It's just been, you know, it's just ancient really. I'm not sure it's not going to leak. I'm going to take these parts off here and I'm going to swap them over onto this petcock here. I had a question on YouTube the other day asking me what type of screwdrivers these were. I think it was these. The thing is, I'm not sure. This is one. You might have seen this. For some reason my dad gave us this, but this is on so many YouTube videos. I always use this for some reason. It seems to fit the screws in the carburetor that come on the Briggs ones really well. I always use that. It's magnetised as well. Someone asked what make it was. I'm not sure if it was this one or this one. If it's this one, this is just a cheaper set off eBay. And if it was this one, I'm not sure. But I do like that one. It's a bit weird, but I do use that one a lot. I've not really got a really good set of those, but you don't really need something brilliant. But anyway, I just thought I'd answer that while I'm here. But I'm just going to undo this, and I'm going to swap this this fuel line off here. Might be a little bit of fuel in here. I'll just turn that cleaner off for a little bit. It does say in the instructions, don't run it too many times in a row. The water is absolutely, let me show you, the water's absolutely black in it now. I don't know if you can see that. It's getting really dirty now, so it must be doing something. Anyway, we'll give it a bit of a rest. I'll just pull this off here. And I'm going to swap this. There's a bit of fuel left in here, so I just don't want it to go everywhere. I'm going to swap that there. I'll take that off there, and I'm going to put this here, pull this one off here. I'm going to put that one on, and you can see it's just coming out of there. It's only a little bit. I'm going to put that on there. I'll turn that round. So I don't want to get it all back on the bike and find there's a leak, because this actually sits further down. It's quite, you have to twist the petrol tank and put it in sort of sideways to get it on and off. So I'll just leave that up to the bottom there, so if I need to get to it I can do that. I'm just trying to work out which way around it faces. Yeah, if I leave that side, it should be the easiest point to get to it. So I'll tighten that back up. I'll swap this other part over. We'll put that on the on this part here, and that'll be all swapped over. And I'll blow that one out with the airline first, and we're ready to go and put this petrol tank back on this bike. So I've got these swapped over now. What I'm going to do now is just getting towards being too dark to go outside and have a good look round, but I'm going to take this outside and put a little bit of fuel in here. I know there's some in this fuel line already, but what I really want to see is, and I had this sorted on the other petrol tank, is that there's no leakage here. And I couldn't get this part off without having to drill these out, which I didn't really want to do. But what I want to do is put enough fuel in here to make sure there's no leaks around here where this part joined to the petrol tank. So I remember on the other one, the seal is a rubber seal that runs right around this, like a rubber gasket if you like, and it was leaking on the other one. And I did have a small leak on this bike before I started taking things apart, so I'm just going to put a little bit of fuel in that in the garden. I'm going to test that and make sure there's no leaks there. Just before I do that, I'll just actually put something up here as well, just to make sure that any fuel don't come down this pipe as well. I've actually got a bit of fuel in here now. Obviously I can't tip this right over, but I'm quite happy that this isn't leaking on the back. Quite happy that that's sealed well. I'll leave it maybe overnight just propped up in the garage, and I'll check that in the morning, but there's plenty of fuel tipped that way and it all looks good to go. I'm a bit hesitant about swapping this over, but all the fuel looks nice and clean. Now there's a bit in there, there's a few marks on the tank, but you can see it's as clean as I can get it. And I'll swish that around a bit, and then before I fill it up again, before I replace this part, I'll actually just siphon that back out again with the extractor before I fit this back on the bike. What I was saying about this is, shut this door, put this in first and turn it off. What I was saying about putting this petrol tank back on here is that this actually has to fit down this hole, so what I have to do is twist it sideways and pull these pipes down from underneath, which is always why it's easier than doing things, just to take loads of bits off. I always find I'm going to slide those back down there. I sort of put this in on the side and it twists and that goes down the gap there, and then I'll just bolt this back on from underneath, and that's the petrol tank is replaced. I must be doing some good, but I've just noticed in here, and actually taking this the main jet in there actually was just sticking. It just sticks out above the top of here. I'm not sure if I've shown this before, but the best way to get these out, I find, is to just get an Allen key, and if you put it in like this way and hook it here, it'll actually drop down this hole. Can't really do it with one hand, but it's a perfect tool for getting in and just pushing these. See if I can see how to do it on here. Let's just get started. Yeah, you can see here, if you get an Allen key, you can actually get it in here. You need two hands to do it. You get the right one and you just push it down. Eventually this will pop out at the bottom here. So I just want to have a look at that as well. I'm not actually sure if I've ever remembered to take that out, so bit of a schoolboy error really, but I've noticed it now, so I'm going to take it out. Very small. Sometimes you've got to get a different ones, smaller ones, bigger ones, try all sorts. Sometimes you just can't get them around the corner. That's nearly out, it's on its way. Just get an even smaller one, see if I can get further on this corner here. There we are. I don't know if you heard that go then, you can see here. I've actually got this out here. And I know I do this on a lot of Honda mowers. I'm not actually sure whether I've actually managed to get that out before. You see here, there's tiny little holes in here, and they don't look too bad. Maybe it's because it's been cleaned inside, I'm not sure. But obviously the easy way to check this is to just hold it up to the light. You see the tiny little holes that are in here. Any of these get blocked and this bike won't run right. Small tiny little parts like that are inside this carburettor, and obviously that's okay. But yeah, I don't know why I didn't remember to take that out, but obviously my mistake. But if any of these aren't correct and there's any dirt in any of this, you won't get the correct fuel flow and you'll have all sorts of problems, which I've been having. And that's just the part you can get off. What I'm hoping with this cleaner that I've bought is, this part's beginning to clean up now. I've just now I've put it back under the camera, you can see a difference. But what I've noticed is with this little parts like this, inside here where you can't see and where you can't clean, I'm hoping that that's what this cleaner does inside, and it gets the parts clean inside this carburetor that I can't actually do. So I'll just drop that in the thing. I'm actually going to have to change the water in this now. I think I've done it 3 or 4 times now. You can see in here now, you can hardly even see in here. And yes, these parts are just old, but I think they are cleaning up slowly, but that's not going to clean anything now, so I'm going to change that out. And I'm just going to keep washing it really. Every sort of 20 minutes I'll just put it on again. Yes, I think bit by bit it is getting cleaner. I've actually just replaced this now. I think we've all seen enough of this. I'm going to throw some more of this in it, and then we'll do it a bit more. I'm going to put this back together now when it's all cleaned out. I want to get it as good as I can this time, and I'm going to put this back so it's properly dry. I'll rebuild this carburetor and we'll get putting this back on the bike.